You're listening to The Pete Sheppard Show.
Bridges to toss it in to Brunson. Defended by Thompson. 15 seconds left. Brunson takes a peek at the clock. Thompson digging in defensively. 8 seconds. Brunson stops on a dime. Launches. Oh, yeah! Jalen Brunson buries it. Knicks lead by 3. The Brunson burner ignited.
How cheesy is that? Good Lord. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pete Sheppard Show. Far be it from me to lead with any type of New York highlight, but I felt it only necessary because it's the only good thing that's going to happen for the Knicks over the next 10 days or so. As they get to play the Celtics and get their ass whipped again. It'll be a sweep. Trust me, it's coming. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. Let's get it going. Thanks, everybody, for checking out the Pete Sheppard Show. That's me. Still on cloud 9 after jackass J.J. Redick and the Lakers go down. Seems like yesterday, doesn't it? It's actually 2 days ago. Anyway, thanks for following me on Twitter, on X, here at PShep326. Also on our Facebook pages, on the Coastal Sports Network Facebook page, on my Facebook page, on Kick, YouTube, Rumble, CSN Florida, and LinkedIn. And call or text the show, 727-858-6650. We got lots to talk about today. And also a big Kentucky Derby preview. Not a lot of guests. We loaded the show up with guests yesterday, had a full show. Today, probably just going to about 9 o'clock this morning. Everybody can get the weekend going. But we're going to do recap everything that happened last night in the NBA and the Stanley Cup playoffs, a full MLB rundown. And I got to ask Angel. I'm going to bring Angel on right away here because I got to have an important question to ask him. And then we're going to wait till you see the video I have of Alex Martina calling up Steve Smith, the former Raven standout wide receiver, and guy caught him sleeping with his wife. This guy's Steve Smith's getting sued for a whole bunch of money. But I'm going to ask you, Angel Martinez, when you are in Puerto Rico, or does your family call you? How do you not Angel, but Angel? What?
Angel?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay.
It's that way, but then my family too. So because I'm a junior, then I would say 90% of my family has always called me Junito, which is the junior version in Spanish. And so that's been my name for years, even as an adult, which I don't care because that's, it's always been my name. My sister's always been Lucy. No difference there. They've never changed her name, but that's the way I've always been referred to. But if it's family members I haven't seen in a while, then yeah, they go with the Spanish version.
Okay, the reason why, and listen closely, I say that because of this.
If he puts it in play, he's got to run like the wind to get out of the double play. There goes Jose for third. Base hit right field. Here comes Jose. Book it. The Guardians take 3 out of 4 from Minnesota. A hug from Jose, who puts his name in the record books once again here in Cleveland. Angel Martinez delivering the game-winning hit, and the Guardians, after getting shellacked by Minnesota in the series opener, come back to win 3 straight.
See, Angel Martinez, even though it's spelled like your name, Angel Martinez, but I know that name that depending on how the professional athlete wants the name pronounced. So Angel is. Do most people named Angel want an Angel, or they want Angel?
Yeah, if they're coming from the island, yeah, they want the Spanish version of it. Most of them. Now, if they're born stateside, it's either or. It doesn't matter. The funny part of the thing is when I've gone to doctor's offices, Achmel
fully wants to see you. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, hey, Angel's fine. Don't worry about it. By the way, I'm glad I played double duty. Yes, I had the game-winning run, and now I'm back here on air with Pete in the morning.
Well, I was when I saw the cut this morning, I'm like, oh, I wonder if they're going to do the American. I played, and I'm like, damn it, they didn't. Not that it's Angel as a player, but it was Angel Martinez, and I thought even Angel Martinez was going to be more pronounced at the beginning of the cut. They didn't even mention his name until the end. He had the game win here. Cleveland won, by the way, last night. We'll get to your loss and my loss. Again, the Red Sox losing. Too bad. Again, great starting pitching, but nevertheless, they're back home tonight at Fenway to take on the Minnesota Twins. But lots of interesting stuff going on. Obviously, this NBA playoffs, the Stanley Cup playoffs, great wins last night. The Knicks coming from behind and winning in the end when Detroit went up by 7. I really did not think the Knicks were going to come back and do it. I thought there'd be a Game 7, but give the Knicks a lot of credit. For coming back. You heard the game-winning shot right there. Jalen Brunson, crossover dribble between his legs, and then nailed a 3 with 4.3 seconds left and blew a kiss to the crowd. In fact, let me play that. I'll play that cut again. Did I even get rid of it? I did. There's more to it. But they get to play the Celtics, and that series will start on Monday at the Garden. It'll be Wednesday. Will be game 2, and then after the Celtics are up 2-0, they will go to New York and finish a couple of games there. I'm not sure when games 3 and 4 are going to be, but we've got a lot of reactions to the Knicks and the Pistons. Reaction in the other game as well. Clippers come back and do a good job beating Denver 111-105. Ty Lue apparently called all the players a couple nights ago and said, "We got this. We can do this," and he's right. Unlike J.J. Redick, Ty Lue can coach. I used to call him assistant coach Ty Lue when LeBron was there. But Ty Lue can coach. Jackass J.J. cannot coach. More excuses from him coming up. And then a lot of people on ESPN ripping the shit out of him. And rightly so. Okay, so here is the final seconds of the game last night with the Knicks and the Pistons.
Bridges to toss it in to Brunson. Defended by Thompson. 15 seconds left. Brunson takes a peek at the clock. Thompson digging in defensively. 8 seconds. Brunson stops on a dime. Launches. Oh, yeah! Jalen Brunson buries it. Knicks lead by 3. The Brunson burner ignited. Cunningham to toss it in. Movement. Beasley. Harris falls down. Hardaway. Back for Cunningham. Swing it. Off the hands of Beasley. Out of bounds. Pistons turn it over. 0.4 on the clock. Detroit didn't get a shot off. The Knicks take care of business. They wrap up the series in Detroit and move on to the second round. Jalen Brunson. He's the hero. 116 to 113, the final.
Yep. It is a final, and Brunson played outstanding last night. 40 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists. Bridges at 25, 4 and 3. I know we had 22, 5, and 1. Josh Hart at 13. The problem is that they're going up against a defensive juggernaut, and the Celtics coming up starting on Monday night. And, Brunson's going to need to put up 40, but he's not going to because Jaylen Brown's going to be, if he's reasonably healthy, he's going to be all over. If not, Drew Holiday. They're just too deep. The Knicks have struggled. They were 1-8 against the Celtics the last 9. They got swept this year by them. They got swept by Cleveland. They lost to OKC. So, they just haven't. And I know playoff basketball is different. But they are going up against a wrecking machine in the Celtics from a defensive standpoint, not even talk about offensively. I don't know how the Knicks are going to stop them. They haven't. And not only have they not stopped the Celtics, the games haven't even been close. Clobbered them all 4 times this year. And I just don't. Unless the Celtics really have one gigantic, massive brain cramp, I just don't. I don't even see a gentleman sweep here. I just don't. I'm getting a text from. Okay, Gus has because he sent me a private message just now on Twitter and says, Angel sending me a link. I said, check your email. He said, okay, got it. Anyway, let's get right into it. Gus will join us, Gus Alonso, at 8:30. The only thing I know, and I guess I have to bet the horse because it kind of fits what we do here, even though we're not journalists per se. But journalism is the name of the horse, and he is a 3-1 favorite. So got to go with it, Angel. Got to go with it. I know nothing about any of these horses. I watch 3 races a year. Gus is an unbelievable handicapper when it comes not just to the Derby and the Preakness and the Belmont, but he does this basically on the side for a living. Does a great job. He is nationally known and a lot of fun. And he's one fucking hell of a golfer too. He really is. So is his family. He's just a great guy.
Hey,
go ahead.
By the way, do we have the horses? Do you have the Derby lineup by any chance?
I'll get to it. I'm gonna get to it. I just looked at it for the first time this morning. So
all right, no, because I was thinking, no, it's fine because I was just thinking we'll make some, obviously some phony baloney picks for ourselves, and we'll just bet money.
I always have a long shot. The only time I ever really nailed it was 1998. I think I don't know if I told you this story before. So we're back at WEI, I'm doing, this is right before I get on the big show, but I'm doing a weekend shift with my partner at the time, John Wallach, who's over at 98.5 The Sports Hub. And we always carried we did a show like that. We always carried the Derby live for like 7 minutes and then back to the show. So right before it happened, I said, take real quiet was the name of the horse. So he wins, if he won. He was 8-1 and he won. Don't ask me why. I did a little bit of research. Like I've done a little bit of research, but it's who the hell knows? I don't know. I rely mostly on what Gus says.
Oh yeah. Well, no,
So I picked a horse, and John and I had the show on Sunday as well, from 1 to 6, 5-hour shift on a Sunday, long shift, but we did it. And when I got in. Because when I got to the security desk to go up to the elevator, he's like, Pete, he goes, this guy just dropped this off to you. And I'm like, okay. So I bring it up. There's a yellow manila envelope about this big. I go upstairs, and I can't remember the guy's name. He says, Pete, thanks for the hot tip. Here's he goes, I won $5,000. This is for you. Thank you. And then it was 5 $100 bills. So like 500. It just said a first name. Said thanks. I can't remember the guy's name. I want to say Chris, but I was like, okay. So that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool at the time. Pretty
cool. Oh, it's the same when listen. I don't know not a thing about horse racing. It's just look at who was it? Well, listen, P. Diddy. Sorry, I got to bring up your name, but if you look at it,
P. Diddy.
Yeah.
What's he have to do with horse racing? You own a horse?
No, he bet on a horse. I want to say it's got to be maybe close to 10 years ago, whatever it was. Like just on a fluke. It was not. I think it was like a horse, like 75 to 1 odds, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I think was it $1 million? Either 100,000 or $1 million, one of the two. And he freaking won just by sheer stupid luck. He was like, I'm just going to put money on this and end up winning. So you never know. And speaking about horses, no pun intended there, but out in Ocala they have a bunch of equestrian centers. But even more importantly, I think there's tons of horses as well at the villages because the villages love to listen in on the show. So
now the villages, I mean, there's several villages, right? But this is the main one in Florida we're talking about, right?
Yeah,
the ones that have all the signals, the upside down pineapples, the very it's a very eclectic group. Is that a fair way to describe the villages?
Yes.
Very eclectic.
Yeah, very responsible. And
they love us.
They do. So listen, I'm forever grateful. Thank you to villages in Ocala.
Villages, hello.
Exactly. Never know.
Got mirrors on the ceiling, rugs on, like at Elvis's house.
Champagne pubs.
It's like it's like Cinemax at the late night, 24/7.
Exactly.
We thank them. We thank them for listening, right? And we also find out we're getting bigger in Russia.
That we are.
Not Putin, but everybody else, a lot of good citizens in Moscow. Hello.
That we are. So now, listen, as we try to do our best here on the network, we're always grateful and humble and appreciative of the countries that listen in. And again, the same way with the men and women of the Armed Forces Network. And by the way, it is Military Appreciation Month. Let's not forget the month of May for that as well. So thank our men and women who serve our country.
And thank you, former serviceman that you are as well. Probably a lot easier in the service than doing this sometimes, I bet. But
At times.
God, I wish I was invading Afghanistan now. I got to go on with Pete. Fuck. Anyway. All right, let's see. So the Pistons have gone fishing. As you know, NBA on TNT does something. If we could scroll down, I think it's like 3 down. And here's the end of the Pistons. And, gone fishing. They always do a great job with teams that have been eliminated from the playoffs, and it's always a different scenario. So Detroit, I think this one takes place in one of the Great Lakes in Michigan.
But we have to send somebody fishing.
Hey, that's right.
Like
I actually was going to take Eric. I'm going to take him out into the lakes in Michigan. We were out there. No question. We caught that. What kind of fish is that?
It's a big fish. That's what it is.
Jalen, I had my man.
You had your man Dan Campbell out there.
I see you. We had the lose yourself for a moment. Oh, Eminem was there. That's right. Yeah, and we had everybody.
You have a concerned look on your face, Jet. Like you don't want to get near that tail of that fish right there.
Yeah, I don't like being next to Eminem. That's Jalen Rose.
No, on the other side.
Dan Campbell.
Coach Dan Campbell. You got Lauren Jabara up there, too.
Yeah, Lauren's up there. What's up, Lauren? What's going on? I got, no doubt.
Okay.
Also, some company folks here. Bert Bondi, Cass Grabowski, Jay Maddox, all from all natives of Detroit. And but it comes to an end.
We'll be back.
What lake is that, Jalen?
Rock City.
What lake is that? Is that Lake Michigan?
That's Lake Michigan.
Yeah, it is. I could tell.
Yeah.
When you come to Detroit, I got to take you to Belle Isle.
Because it
Where's
has
that?
water in
Downtown Detroit.
Okay.
It could be Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, Lake Huron. I mean, how do people know it's Lake Michigan? I'm going to assume it is, right? It's the biggest one, I believe, of the Great Lakes. But why? How do you actually know?
I don't know. Seems kind of mountainous for Lake Michigan.
Well,
It's just me. Last I checked in Michigan, there weren't a ton of mountains.
oh man. Well, I was sticking with the NBA and the Knicks winning, and last night also Mike Breen, who does nationally, does a local on MSG Network. If we could scroll down, Angel, under awful announcing, Mike Breen on the Knicks MSG broadcast about JB Bickerstaff right here. He just would not stop yapping. Would not stop. Yeah, that's it right there. Would not stop yapping all the way through the timeout. It was absolutely it was unbelievable. So this is MSG's take.
JB Bickerstaff just will not stop. This is now going on live. He's back out on the court again. This guy is a heck of a coach. And what he did this year is miraculous. This is at the end of the timeout. It was nonstop. I've been doing this over 30 years. I don't know if I've ever seen a coach argue this much nonstop from the opening tip till now. Now, if you talk to the players, Clyde, they'll tell you this is part of why they love this guy. They say he's a dog like the players. He's fighting for us like the players. But there comes a point where Tony Brothers is going to say, another technical, you're gone. It's nonstop. It's continuous.
Remember the last game, Walton was also doing it, Mike. Remember they had 2 reps going.
Well, Luke Walton, who's the assistant, just did a good job as J.B. Bickerstaff and Tony Brothers have kind of a contentious thing going on. And then Luke Walton went out and made Tony Brothers laugh to kind of ease the situation. That's great work from an assistant coach. And nice.
I can't believe he didn't get thrown out of the game, to be honest with you. To argue that much and through a timeout and be on the floor and all that stuff. I guess he didn't say any magic F-bombs or anything like that, but maybe if he did. But that was bizarre to me. Anyway, he is a very, very good coach. And so is Tom Thibodeau for the Knicks, but more than likely he'll be fired after they lose to the Celtics. Not his fault. Tom's a really, really good coach. He'll get picked up immediately, but that's my take is he'll be gone. By the way, Mike Sullivan looks like he's going to be the next head coach of the New York Rangers. They are really, and Mick Pelagio and I talked about this, talking about maybe him going to the Bruins, and I'm hoping Don Sweeney reached out, or Cam Neely, the president, Don Sweeney, the GM of the Bruins, But apparently, Mike Sullivan is about to become the highest paid head coach possibly in NHL history by taking over the New York Rangers.
Wow.
So we'll see. I was high on that list that maybe the Bruins would be able to get him, but apparently, and Mick brought this up. They said we hope the Rangers don't swoop in and steal him, and they very well might have. So we'll see. It's not official yet. Tortorella's name is still out there for the Rangers. I'm sure Tortorella's name is going to be out there for the Bruins, and Jay Pandolfo at Boston University and some others as well. All right, back to the NBA. Then we'll get to the Stanley Cup playoffs. Back to the NBA. Back to Jackass JJ Redick. Frank Isola on the Sirius XM NBA radio, who's excellent, and Brian Scalabrine on the reaction in Dallas after Luka and the Lakers were eliminated.
With all those press conferences that Nico had, don't you think like Dallas needs to have another press conference?
Well, we have the Dallas reaction after watching Luka getting destroyed last night and the Lakers getting eliminated. Here's the reaction out of Dallas.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, can't Dallas say they're like lowering prices on hot dogs? Like, can't Nico make that announcement?
Shouldn't you be receiving an alert on your phone? Emergency press conference today. Nico Harrison, 10 a.m. He should just sit there. He's not even going to make an opening comment. Just say, questions? Anybody has a question?
All right. No surprise there. Meanwhile, the JJ Redick also expands on his championship shape comments.
JJ, to build off the point you made about wanting the team to be in championship shape, what do you all expect what the off-season regimens will look like so that they're better prepared to be in championship shape?
That's something that we'll build out over the next couple weeks with our player development coaches, our performance staff, our training staff. We obviously recognize it's a long season, and some guys have routines, and it's not that we're looking to completely break routines, but we do want to have a program in place for each guy so that when they come back in mid-August, September, we can build off of that and start training camp in a really good spot conditioning-wise.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. Luka Doncic, do you know how many now they call it, they have an official term for it, blow buys, which to me is just another way of saying an Olay defense. You know how many of those happened for Luka? 9 the other night, 2 nights ago. 9 blow buys. That is the most ever in an NBA playoff game. Ever. Which means he's standing there like a fucking statue and watching everybody just go by him. 9 of them. So you can score all the points you want. He ended up negative 15 on the floor. Whatever it was, some high negative number. And 9 blow-bys, please. He's never going to change. He is never going to change. Everybody's tried. It was like, oh, well, LeBron will get to him in the offseason. Oh, please. LeBron's got enough to worry about being 41 years old. Let's scroll down, Angel, if we could. Speaking of that situation, let's scroll down. Let's see the first one. Let's see. Let's start with, let's go down to. No, let's start with Kendrick Perkins. And you damn right I'm blaming JJ Redick. That is the headline. It's just a few down.
Right here.
You damn right I'm blaming JJ Redick. You damn right. Mr. JJ Redick, I know more about basketball than anybody else in the world. Mr. JJ Redick, where the world is watching and can see that you need some type of size and athleticism on the floor when you're going against a physical, lengthy Minnesota team who has Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle, Naz Reid, Jay McDaniels, that imposes their will in the paint. But you still leave this small ball lineup out there on the floor and leave a 40-year-old senior citizen in LeBron James to battle in the trenches for a 7-game series that went 5. Listen, I just don't understand it for the life of me. This is not about X's and O's and schemes. This was common sense. You damn right I'm blaming
Damn
JJ.
right. Damn right. Meanwhile, continuing on that theme, 2 down after that on awful announcing. Here is Brian Windhorst elaborating on J.J. Redick and his jackass coaching style.
Brian, where are you in this? I know this morning on Get Up you were critical and said he was immature at times in his approach. Let's elaborate. What did you mean?
Yeah, I don't like saying it because we all have a personal relationship with JJ, and I have such an immense respect for him, and I think he's done a really good job this year.
No,
when you are a first-year head coach, you make mistakes, and I don't know whether JJ would say that today or he's going to say that in 5 years. By the way, go to any coach who's had success, and you ask them about their first year, they're probably going to close their eyes and go, man, wish I wouldn't have done that. And I suspect that JJ is going to say that about the way he operated in this series. I think at times JJ seethes. I think he's really smart. I think he's been great for the Lakers, but I think sometimes he seethes, and that puts him in a bad position. And I think he was seething the last few days. I think he made a mistake with how he played those older guys on short rest that many minutes in Game 4. He, instead of recognizing it, he just doubled down, was almost defiant about it in between Games 4 and 5. And he was still seething coming into the game last night, as he demonstrated in the pregame press conference. I wasn't in the locker room. I don't know how he related to the team, but the Lakers were not ready to play to start that game. They did not come out like a team desperate. And regardless of what you think about the question, whether you think the question he got where he stomped out of the press conference was fair or not, that doesn't matter. A coach handles their business to handle a situation. I think JJ would agree that he needed to handle that better. And I just don't think he was as good as he can be, and I expect in the future that he will be much better. And you always know that. You know that when you hire a coach who's young and never done it before, that you're going to go through this, and the Lakers did. And I think JJ will eventually be even better than he was this year.
I'm not sure about that. I agree with about 95% of what Wendy just said there. But look, I called it from the beginning of the NBA season that Laker fans are going to end up hating this guy. I said, and you watch, when things go awry is when he's going to be at his worst. He was a jackass on TV at ESPN thinking, and Perk was absolutely right, because I've heard horror stories about how horribly J.J. Redick, just an arrogant asshole, about how treating everybody, and just it's always his way. And there were clips they played, of him ripping coaches who acted a lot less immature than he did, and he was ripping the shit out of him when he was on ESPN. So you're a hypocrite. You're a lousy coach. I don't care that you went to Duke. It's only going to get worse for that organization. It's only going to get worse for that organization. They can have all the offseason programs they want until they get a center, until Luka learns to play a tiny bit of defense, which is never going to happen. They might have peaked in this LeBron era. This is where it is. They are a 3 seed. That lost for the first time in the history of the Laker franchise, a 3 seed or higher in the first round. You had Luka Doncic, history making, 9 Olays, 9 blow-bys. Never been done before in the NBA. Never been done before. You had never been done before J.J. Jackass Redick keep the same starting 5 on the floor for 24 minutes. Never been done before. All these never been done before is for a proud Laker franchise, and J.J. Redick is going to learn from his mistakes. I don't know about that. And don't give me the bullshit about Joe Mazzulla either. Joe Mazzulla, yes, he made some mistakes. He also got to the conference finals after being down 3-0 and came back and forced a Game 7. Yes, they lost, but Joe Mazzulla did absolutely make some mistakes his first year, but they won playoff series. Maybe they didn't close out teams like Philadelphia like they should have, but nevertheless, they won in 6. They didn't win in 5. Who'd they be? Cleveland or Atlanta? I forget who his first year before losing to Miami, and he absolutely did make mistakes. He didn't know how to. He didn't know how to use timeouts properly. Maybe substitutions weren't great. Then this is the Marcus Smart Celtics at the end. But nevertheless, he won games. He didn't get bounced in the first round. He didn't keep the same players on the floor for 24 minutes. He didn't act like an asshole in the press conferences before, during, and after games. He stood there and took it. And now he's become, He's an excellent coach. Yes, he has excellent players around him, but he gets it. I mean, he is night and day what he was a couple of years ago. Night and day. And he totally gets it. Meanwhile, what else is there? Blah, blah, blah. What else is there? Okay. Well, that's enough about the Lakers there for a second. Let me see, unless we have some more. Well, Frank Isola, I'll play that. Well, actually, Frank Isola and Brian Scalabrine, also on Sirius XMN Radio, they had high praise for Rudy Gobert. Can't leave him out.
What was the strategy there? They really think they can go small. They got absolutely dominated in the paint by Rudy Gobert. They got destroyed by him.
Yeah. I mean, the strategy, Frank, like, okay, let me just back up for 1 sec. If you got Luka Doncic on your team and you think you're going to roll out there without rim protection, you're crazy. So the strategy is for the Lakers, it's like, let's play small. And when you play small, it works to a certain extent, but not if you're getting cracked off the dribble.
No question. And Scal's a good guy. He's played for the Celtics, a couple of other teams. He's also on the NBC Sports broadcast with Drew Carter for all the Celtics games as well. So, I mean, he absolutely totally gets it. Meanwhile, a couple of highlights. Clippers and Denver in a very good series going on. It is tied at 3 thanks to James Harden.
On the year, they had struggled mightily in this series, but they're taking care of business tonight. Harden for 3. And he's taking care of business, too. James Harden with 28 assists. He knocks this one down, and the Clippers are up.
Yes, they are. Clippers season on the brink. Ty Lue took the unusual step of checking in with several players. He made phone calls on their off day. He said it took a lot of temperatures, making sure they were mentally ready to go. And they were. Harden, as you just saw or heard, had 28 points, 8 assists in an outstanding bounce-back performance. Kawhi Leonard also added 27. Clippers force a 7th game in their first-round NBA playoff series, winning 111-105. Afterwards, James Harden says he's got another 47 or 48 minutes in him for Game 7.
Just a quick follow. I know it's late, but you did play 47 minutes. There was a yawn in there. Get some
tired.
Yeah.
A little bit.
You got another 47, 48 in Denver?
Yeah, have to. Like, it is what it is. You know, I miss a part of it. So, you know, whatever the team needs, 47, 48, overtime, whatever. You know, I'm willing to do it.
All righty. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Stanley Cup playoff results from last night. The Ottawa Senators let me down. I thought they were going to pull it off. They were down 2-1. They scored late. But we'll get to the highlights of that game. The Vegas-Minnesota game, Colorado-Dallas, Edmonton, and L.A. as well. So we'll get to the Stanley Cup highlights. And then there is more to this Bill Belichick story that TMZ has about Jordan Hudson.
Oh, boy.
Bill Belichick apparently isn't the only older guy that she has dated before. Although the last one was in his 60s. We'll tell you all about it next when the Pete Sheppard Show continues here on the Coastal Sports Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey, everybody, it's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Don't spaz out because your team lost. Let Pete do it for you. Now, back to the Pete Sheppard Show.
Domi finds the loose puck, still with it. Sets up Pacioretty, they score! It's Max Pacioretty, and it's 3-2 Toronto.
What a wrist shot by Pacioretty. And this all started with the stretch pass by the Leafs. I have no idea where the coverage went from the Ottawa Senators. But it ends up being a 2-on-1 break originally, and the shot ends up going wide. And then an area in which the Senators have been so good at protecting is the slot. Here's the 2-on-1 break in the stretch pass. And Senators got caught napping. Holberg gets it behind the net. You got a little battle 2-on-3. Good job by Domi on the backhand. And he...
Yep, they finally did it. They proved me wrong. I really thought when Ottawa tied it in the third period at 2 that they were that the magic was about to happen. But somehow, some way, the Toronto Maple Leafs get out of their own way. They win the first round series in the Battle of Ontario. They beat the Ottawa Senators by a score of 4-2. As you heard, Max Pacioretty scored the tie-breaking goal less than 6 minutes to go. And then they got the empty netter, 4-2 win over Ottawa. And Thursday night in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Welcome back to the Pete Sheppard Show here on the Coastal Sports Network. Elsewhere around the league, it was, William Nylander had the empty netter at the end. No need to hear that. Vegas beat Minnesota 3-2. The Golden Knights and Bruce Cassidy, former Bruins coach. Why can't we get coaches like that? He wins the series 4-2. Colorado and Dallas in a high-scoring affair.
Changes on both sides. Both skaters on the ice. Puck backhanded low by McKinnon. Crowley. Now Labushkin for Dallas. Up the middle. Off the stick of Beck. Walensky back the other way. Here's McKinnon. McKinnon putting wide on Labushkin with a soaring pass. Redirect by Lekanen. They stop. The bounce in. And the Avalanche are back on top. And able to possess the puck here going wide. Looks like he's checked. No check.
Yeah, thanks to TNT with the call right there. Yes, it looked like he was checked. And then later on in the game.
You got to pretend like you're not expecting the pressure, then get it to the middle there. Avalanche control, sent down to the empty net and in. Into the open cage. Oh, Manson had a great chance earlier in the game, rang it off the crossbar. Toronto has not won a game 7 since 2002. They have lost their last 6. But they will have an opportunity on Saturday. Empty net. Again. It is now 7-4. Not scored a goal all series. 2 assists in this game. As his first of the post.
Yes, and thanks again to TNT with the call. Meanwhile, Edmonton and Los Angeles, the Oilers trying to close out the Kings.
Shuttled for Kempe. Net front. Trying to tap one home with Kopitar. Cutting to the right of Pickard. This one to the line, gloved down by Brown, charging ahead with Henry. Brown moving in, centered toward Henry, score!
Yeah, thanks again. That's the Oilers network right there. I'm sorry, that was from ESPN. Trent Fredericks goal there, 5-2, but it did get close. It was 5-4 until the Oilers clinched it at the end.
Kuzmenko with it, looking for Kempe. Stripped to the puck, lobbed ahead. 10 seconds to go. Downey hammers one up ice. Blocked by Brown. Brown scores! Edmonton will move on.
Lifts the stick of Darnell Nurse. And as Doughty just tries to put it up ice.
Yeah, the Oilers get it done. They win 6-4, so they are moving on in the Stanley Cup playoffs as well. By the way, I want to thank all of our, for Total Sports Prep, for the best articles in audio, by the way. There's only one source that provides everything you need 365 days a year to satisfy your sports crave. It's Total Sports Prep. The staff combing through the best articles in audio so you don't have to. Sports and non-sports kicker stories will leave you laughing all day long. To get your free trial of Total Sports Prep, contact them at info@sportsbroadcastingcoach.com. That's info@sportsbroadcastingcoach.com. Total Sports Prep, the name says it all. All right. I teased you about the Bill Belichick story. This is getting just more to this very uncomfortable onion as what is going on with Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson. But apparently, according to TMZ Sports, Belichick's 24-year-old girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, has a 64-year-old ex-boyfriend, Joshua L. Zuckerman. So excuse me. And apparently he met, according to TMZ, he met Jordan Hudson on a plane. I had known that from before. I know we didn't want to bring it up, but whatever. They just maintain a relationship. I don't really care about that stuff. Jordan Hudson's a graduate of Bridgewater State University with a degree in philosophy. Has been, as you know, been spotted supporting Belichick at various events. She's handling him, including his games. And Tom Brady's Hall of Fame induction ceremony. She was there for that. But apparently, Hudson is into older men. TMZ Sports says she had a 64-year-old boyfriend who had a lot to say about their previous relationship. He said Jordan Hudson's 64-year-old former lover is racing to her defense, blasting haters who have accused her of being a gold digger for her romance with Bill Belichick, while praising her, quote, as wise beyond her years, unquote. Joshua L. Zuckerman, a businessman, tells TMZ Sports he met Hudson several years ago, and after bonding over psychology, philosophy, and nature, they became romantic. So while they're discussing Plato and Nietzsche and Socrates, and maybe even Aaron Rodgers' zone of darkness type of mental state, they were lovers. The two were off and on for a while, but ceased their dating relationship just prior to Hudson coupling up with Bill Belichick. And apparently, this Joshua L. Zuckerman still remained friendly with the 23-year-old cheerleader through her time with the future Hall of Famer. And he said in a statement to us this week, meaning TMZ Sports, that he's been appalled by some of the negative things that have been said about his ex online. Quote, she is wise beyond her years, much more than any 20-something I've ever met in my life. The narrative about her character is not fair to her. So that's one man's opinion.
Okay.
Right?
So, she's 24 now, right?
Yeah.
So if they met a couple years ago, was she
Well, she was 23 when they met. A couple of years ago. She was, a year ago. She was 23 when they were dating. Now she's 24.
All right. It gets more and more interesting.
Yeah, on the surface, again, some personal related.
How old is Coach?
72.
70s, right?
72. Yep. And this story right now is going viral. I'm glad we gave it to you first. Dove Kleiman I didn't give it to you first, but TMZ Sports had it first. And now it's gone viral, and everybody's talking about it. There's actually, what, Angel? I just tweeted it. You can punch up the picture of Jordan and Bill Belichick. You're going to have to refresh probably, but if you punch it up, you'll see Bill Belichick and Jordan on the left and Miss Hudson and Zuckerman on the right. Previous boyfriend. Cute couples. They should move to the Villages.
Yeah. And I think the Villagers might kick her out and keep Coach one or two. Who the heck?
It's just unbelievable. So that's it. That is 64-year-old.
Hang on for a second.
Joshua L. Zuckerman.
So
Joshua L.
You know how and it's everybody, guys, girls. Sometimes they look for a certain type. Like there's if I ever date this girl, she'd be like blonde hair, blue eyed, blah blah blah. So if you look at her former lover, does she go for the Coach Belichick look? Because there's a little bit of similarities there.
Well, here's what I'd like to know. If Mr. Zuckerman had given Miss Hudson any money for her real estate crap, Bill Belichick is out. It's between $8 and $9 million that he has given her, paid mortgage, whatever it is. He has given her reportedly that kind of money. And what I don't know yet is if Joshua L. Zuckerman, a businessman, I'm not sure what business he's in. I'm sure it's going to come to fruition probably before the end of this show. But did he give her any money?
Yeah.
Business-wise. I'm not talking about but did he give her any money for her business? Like reportedly Bill Belichick has. It's just unbelievable. But for him to say that, it's unfair about how she's being treated, I'm sorry. There's something not right here. There's something not right. Now, I'm wondering if Miss Hudson went into Mr. Zuckerman and whatever business he's in. Was she hanging around? Was she going through his files? Was she his publicist? If it's that type of business he needs, I don't know. But that's exactly what she's doing here, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But nevertheless, this is the kind of stuff, Angel, he said, the media is going to keep digging and digging and digging. And I'm telling you, the North Carolina officials are going to give him an ultimatum. Trust me, I think it's coming. She goes or you go.
Yeah, I would 100% agree, especially the way that even you and Mita were talking about it yesterday. I think so. I think it is going to come down to where the Tar Heels are going to be, listen, we're not dealing with this. This is not what we freaking brought you here for. And Duncan Dad says, sounds like NDA talk to me, just saying. But no, listen, it's just, to me, it's just, the whole thing is kind of bizarre because I would think if Bill wanted to be with somebody, I don't, again, I'm just going by what I've seen in the past. I think he's just a guy who likes to take control of everything. And for allowing someone to basically take control, and I don't even know if he sees it as a young thing. Maybe she's attracting people to North Carolina. I don't know, but I do agree. I think the Tar Heels will tell them.
The whole thing is bizarre to me, and it's uncomfortable, and I hope it ends soon. I really do. Staying in the NFL, now you think that story's bizarre. If we could scroll down again, Duff Kleiman has this. Former NFL wide receiver Steve Smith Sr. is being sued over $100,000 by Antonio Martinez. Listen to this. For an alleged affair with the Ravens marching band member. Listen, you talk about uncomfortable. This makes me uncomfortable. You talk about the sound of silence. All I hear is Simon and Garfunkel in the background. You'll see why. Now it's this Steve Smith Senior, not Junior.
Steve.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you've been fucking my wife, bro. What you gotta say for yourself?
I'm sorry.
You're sorry? You fucking knew she was married. You're not a fucking idiot, man. You're fucking Steve Smith Sr. What kind of dumb shit was that?
Well, he's not the first one. Won't be the last.
Why are you quiet, man? Be a fucking man.
Hung up?
I can't believe he didn't hang up on him.
I can't believe you put his number out
Steve.
there last.
Hey, yo, Steve.
Ooh, that is number right there.
Yeah, and the whole thing is displayed.
Now, this is bizarre. This is unbelievable. So Martinez has accused Smith of engaging in a months-long affair with his wife Nicole while filming an episode of the NFL's Most Interesting Jobs with Steve Smith for the NFL Network. Martinez's lawsuit seeks more than $100,000 in damages and alleges an intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent infliction of emotional distress, punitive damages, and attorney fees. Now, here's the funny part. I didn't even know this was a thing. This sounds like it's out of a movie. Antonio Martinez is suing Smith under the home wrecker law. This is a real thing, which allows a spouse to sue a third party for causing the destruction of a marriage.
Jeez Louise.
You know how many lawsuits that would probably entail, not only in this country, but around the world? Man, I'd keep an attorney. You'd be a billionaire in about a week.
Sure would be.
The home wrecker law, which allows a spouse to sue a third party for causing the destruction of a marriage. I wish I knew that from my, especially, well, I won't even say it. About 15 years ago, my last divorce, I would have sued. I didn't know there was a home wrecker law.
Well, a lot of people probably learned this now. So who knows? We may have started something here. Villages, pay no attention to that. That does not non-disclosure. That is not for you guys.
That is unbelievable to me. Absolutely unbelievable to me. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders seems to be a very hot topic. If you could refresh, Angel, I'm going to start with First, I want to start with, did I not tweet it out? Where is it? Oh, yes. Cam Newton going off on Shedeur Sanders for being too loud, acting like a DB and not a QB. This is Cam Newton who's saying this. Check this out.
Shedeur Sanders, this message is directed to you. Lead with work, not clout. I think he took on the persona of a DB, not a QB. As a DB, you're able to do certain things. You can speak loud and be rambunctious and have that bravado. But as a quarterback, reminder, you are the CEO of that franchise. What do I mean? You have what I've labeled the super six that you have to pander to. Number one, the owner. Number two, the general manager. Number three, the head coach. Number four, the position coach. Number five, the players. And also number six, the fans. This is the best situation for Shedeur because he has to claw his way to the top. Does he have the capabilities of doing it? Absolutely. And if I'm in his camp, I'm telling him like, bro, let's get to work. Let's control what we can control now. I do see Shedeur Sanders starting for the Cleveland Browns at some point this year.
Nope.
Oh, no, I agree with that.
Nope.
I think it will. Well, who's going to be? It's not going to be Kenny Pickett. It's not going to be Joe Flacco. It sure as hell ain't going to be Deshaun Watson, and it's not going to be Dylan Gabriel. I'm telling you, unless he really shits the bed, he's going to be the starter. Nobody else. There's nobody there.
Well, that's okay.
Maybe they get Aaron Rodgers. Maybe he'll go there.
Cleveland welcomed themselves to the clown show because it's all been doing for the past couple seasons. And so you bring up Shedeur, and I'm not calling Shedeur a clown by any means because I don't want anybody coming after me saying, I can't believe it. It's just that the stuff that they've really thought about and did have really been questionable. And now with Shedeur Sanders, and he continues to be that hot topic because once again, you thought you didn't have to do this and that because your dad is Deion Sanders. Well, you're finding out the hard and long way. That's not how you do things, but
yeah, but he's going to be. I will bet my life on it that he will be the Week 1 starter, unless he gets hurt. It's just a process of elimination, Angel. It's not going to be Flacco. It's not going to be Kenny Pickett. It's not going to be Dylan Gabriel. Who would I miss? Joe Flacco. So I mean, it's just not. It's just this is it, and they're damn lucky. I mean, the fact that they drafted Dylan Gabriel before Shedeur Sanders is really. I don't get. I don't get it. All right, now speaking of Shedeur, if we could go down again to Dove, and this is from the Kelsey podcast, The Two Brothers. Travis Kelce goes off on the anonymous coach who disrespected Shedeur Sanders before the draft.
I think whoever's the fucking anonymous person that's fucking saying this should fucking come out and say who they were. And
say it with your chest.
Like, what the fuck is that about? Like, if you're going to fucking leak that type of shit, fucking be the one that says that, yeah, it just didn't go well for us. You know, don't fucking say that we're anonymous. You know, that's so fucking lame. Like, I don't know. I just feel like there's no validity to it. What I saw in film, I thought he was a way higher pick. And I think that's all that should matter. And I mean, it doesn't seem like he's a terrible person. You know, it seems like he's just a motivated football player. I think whoever's the fucking anonymous.
Okay. Yeah. And whatever, the shenanigans, the baggage that came with him and how bad he was at the interviewing and
person that's fucking
by some. I think we're 8 fucks in that first 30 seconds.
Sure did. By the way, hold on.
Fucking saying this should fucking come out and
here for a second.
Hang on, start
like,
from the
I don't know.
Start from the beginning.
All right, but before that, did Dunkin' Dad make an appearance? Do I see Dunkin' Donuts, little gems back there? I'm going to have a word with Dunkin' Dad. I think he may have sent them over there to the Kelseys.
Oh, okay.
I think whoever's the fucking anonymous person that's fucking saying this should fucking come out and say who they were. And
say it with your chest.
Like, what the fuck is that about? Like, if you're going to fucking leak that type of shit, fucking be the one that says that, yeah, it just didn't go well for us. You know, don't fucking say that we're anonymous. You know, that's so fucking lame. Like, I don't know. I just feel like there's no validity to it. What I saw in film, I thought he was a way higher pick. And I think that's all that should matter. And I mean, it doesn't seem like he's a terrible person.
I lost track.
It seems like he's just a motivated football player. I think
it was 9 total. Not bad. And from this craziness now, Angel just refreshed. I just found this and retweeted. This one, as long as we're ripping on whack jobs, here is Josh Jacobs about how crazy it was playing with Antonio Brown on the Raiders. Listen to this and watch this. Speaking of nut jobs.
Wait a minute. Wait. Where's that? Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. This should be spicy. Here we go.
Yep.
What was it like, the saga of AB, bro? I'm not going to lie. So, first off, when he made that video, the free me video, I was sitting right next to him. So I didn't even know that, like, cause he had like a camera crew dude with him. And I'm like, when I seen it on Instagram later, I went home, I was at his house. I said on Instagram, I'm like, no way this blew up. And they really let him go. I'm like, wow, like what's going on? But he would be one of them guys, man, he'd be in meetings, he on his phone. And he ain't even hiding that he on his phone either. He like on his phone, but then be the only person to go out there on the field and never mess up a play. Right. And the hardest worker, the only person I can really compare him to is that work as hard as him is Max Crosby. I've never seen nobody work as hard as AB on the field. He gonna run 100 yards, come back down, and line it up again. I ain't like the way you threw it. Run it again. And then he gonna come back to the ball. He gonna finish every time. He gonna be the hardest worker on the field. What was it like?
No one's ever doubted Antonio Brown's talent. I mean, he just has a 10-cent brain. I mean, anybody, you think about probably hundreds of millions of dollars that he not only pissed away in his personal life, but that he could have had more if he just kept his head on. So this is the guy who threw sofas off of a 10-story building. He threw rubber candy shaped like penises at his ex-wife in a cab with his kids in the car. Gummy bears, they were gummy penises he threw at his ex-wife. I mean, the guy's just not all there, obviously. I mean, he had a great 7 or 8 minutes with the Patriots, with Tom Brady. And first drive against Miami, it was Brady and AB. And then he wasn't. He was gone, very shortly after that, as the Patriots went on to win the Super Bowl against the Rams that year. And then Brady gets him again in Tampa. And who are they playing? They were playing the Jets? I can't remember. He takes his shirt off. He doesn't like what was said to him and takes his jersey off. And off he went, sprinting. Not across the field. I'll give him credit. He went around. He stayed out of bounds and went around and waved to the fans goodbye. And that was that. That is the most bizarre thing I have ever seen in my life. Or one of them, I should say. One of them. So just absolute crazy stuff. All right, another quick break here, Angel, and then we'll come back and do an MLB rundown, some more TNT shenanigans that happened last night as well. Chuck wasn't there last night. Jalen Rose filled in admirably as Shaq was there, Kenny the Jet Smith, and EJ. So we'll get to some shenanigans from TNT last night. But I do want to tell you that Phil Castanetti's Sports World in Saugus, Massachusetts is New England's place to buy or sell the finest in sports memorabilia. For over 35 years, Sports World has offered the finest in sports collectibles. And right now, Sports World has purchased one of the greatest Boston Red Sox items in existence. You can see it right up here. It's a silk pillow case. Only 3 known to still exist. And this one's the nicest one of them all. All the tassels are still intact. And condition is amazing for being 110 years old. This will be on display at Sports World for all to see. Absolutely stunning. So get on down to Phil Castanetti's Sports World in Saugus, Mass. 184 Broadway in Saugus. Call 781-233-7222 for more information. 781-233-7222 for more information. Sports World in Saugus. Be there. MLB rundown, TNT shenanigans, and some NFL news to tell you about as well. All part of the Pete Sheppard Show. Bottom of the hour, Gus Alonso, one of the great sports racing handicappers in the world, will join us. He might even be at Churchill Downs already. We'll have a Derby preview at 8:30. All part of the Pete Sheppard Show here on a Friday, May 2nd on the Coastal Sports Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey everybody, it's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them, sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding.
Whoa!
Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you.
The Pete Sheppard Show. It's fun for the whole family, if it's dysfunctional.
You go. 1 Johnson shows defensively on Cunningham. Drive and kick. Hardaway. On target. It's a three.
How about that? Hardaway has not hit that three tonight, but big time, quick trigger. Beautiful pass from Cunningham.
This is a 9-0 run for Detroit. Bridges trying to end it, cannot. Turnover. Schroeder. Up ahead. Thompson the spin. And Dukes. Tie game.
Oh, God. Tell him, Paul, go. Well, the back-to-back threes there you just heard tied the game at 103, but unfortunately that was about it. As the Knicks rocked the Pistons right out of town, 116 to 113. Pretty good game last night. Now the Knicks have the pleasure of coming to Boston on Monday and Wednesday of next week and losing. Probably going to be a sweep. I'm not even going to say a gentleman. They're probably going to be sweet. But anyway, hell of an effort by Coach Bickerstaff and the Detroit Pistons coming out of nowhere this year. And, they're going to be a formidable team, I think, in the next few years. But anyway, the Knicks too much. They win 116 to 113. But I thought I'd play, because the nice guy that I am, Angel, I'd play a little homage to teams that have come to respect this year. Not the Lakers, but certainly the Pistons. We're not 80s rivalry Celtics Pistons again, but, they're an up-and-coming team. Good for them. Good for the city.
Jalen Brunson is going to carry. They're going to have to carry the Knicks like he did last year, except when he came up short. Obviously, when he got hurt. But yeah, I just think the Celtics are just going to run it back.
No, I mean they just don't have the depth to compete, and the defense that the Celtics play. It's a bad matchup for the Knicks. It's just a bad matchup for the Knicks, and they've lost 8 out of 9 to them, and this year they lost all 4. They got crushed. They lost Cleveland 4 to Cleveland, I think, too, and then they lost to OKC twice. They can't. We'll see. I mean, I think Minnesota could catch lightning in a bottle, and do some damage here in the second round. I have no faith that the Knicks. Now, is every game going to be a blowout or anything like that? No, I'm not saying that. There's probably going to be 1, maybe even 2 games where it's like within 5 points, but overall, It's just there are certain matchups in the NBA that are just bad matchups. Right. This is one of them, and I just don't see the Knicks even coming close. But I'm looking forward to it. Not looking forward to seeing or hearing about Spike Lee, and how many celebrities are going to out-celebrity the Boston Garden, the Madison Square Garden. I don't care. Nobody cares around here or about that stuff. I don't care. Around here, I mean around my studio. And my wonderful peeps in back of me. See, if you come to my beach behind me, Angel, free parking, open bar from 1 to 4. Okay, I have an Uber service for those who need it, and you're free. Swim with the dog. It's very blue. It's very blue behind me. It's nice. It's always sunny and 81 degrees with very low humidity. I have Cabana boys and I have Cabana girls too, and I have 2 massage therapists on hand as well. Oh. Should you be?
Is there a special Deshaun Watson chair?
No, there is not.
Okay.
No, there's not. Everything's open out in the public, and you can't see it from here. I have about 100 cameras in my palm trees, so nothing goes unnoticed. I also have, how when you go to the replay booth in the NFL and the NHL and the NBA, especially the NFL, and they go up and you see whoever it is, and there's a gazillion TVs. Mm-hmm. That's what my security place is like. And I have 3 people on staff. 3 people. There'll be no shenanigans on my beach. On Pete Sheppard Beach, there will be no shenanigans. Nothing. Yeah. Now, if you feel the need to, it is private, but you don't have to pay. I've taken care of everything. So if you want to come and be naked, you come and be naked. You want to come and you want to bring cocktails. You don't have to sneak your cocktails in for me, even though I have an open bar and a little tiki bar and some tapas type of snacks for you. I'll allow you can bring, just don't bring like a big open bottle of vodka or gin or rum or something like that. If you want to bring your own stuff to my little private beach, that's fine. Just put it in a plastic cup. I got no problem with that. And should the mood strike you, I have very good-looking servers, men and women, that will come around and take your order. So, I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that.
Sure doesn't.
No, a beach is not in Clearwater. It's here in Fort Myers.
Yeah.
You know, I bought a little piece.
That's where the missus and I got married, at Sheppard's Beach.
Yeah, but Clearwater looks really, really nice. The Clearwater Beach lately, I saw some pictures of you and Deb there recently. It looks really, really nice. Yes, Dunkin' Dad, no glass on the beach.
Yep, no,
glass
can't
on the
have it.
beach.
Can't have. Is there valet parking there?
I'm working on that, but I have so much free parking that it's not just one of those, that holds 4 or 5 spaces. I can hold up to 55 people, 55 different cars, which is a lot. I pay a lot of money for the parking fees. You know what I'm dishing out. I'm just about breaking even, because I'm about the people down here. I'm about you and you and you and you. So I provide a service, and feel free. You can do whatever you want. Don't piss on my beach. You want to go piss in the water. I have plenty of, and I don't just have porta potty bathrooms. I have really, 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 they're not your average porta potties. You go into my porta potty, you got TV, you got radio, you got a remote, you have different types of soaps and perfumes, and it's like going in Vegas. When you go into a casino and bathroom, there's mouthwash, there's cologne sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I have combs, and that blue liquid so everybody can, you don't get somebody's lice or whatever. And the bathrooms are cleaned every hour. Every hour. So I got it all down. There's also a button in there that will have the little red siren on top go off if for some reason you need medical attention. I have a medical staff on hand as well. I have 2 people, medical staff on hand.
Are those same 2 people also part of security?
No, because these 2 people are usually, they patrol my little beach and make sure there's no shenanigans going on. And like I said, you can come, you want to take your clothes off, you feel free. I have a permit for that. Just don't piss on the sand or poop on the sand. Go into porta potties. You got this TV in there. If you need to go number 2 and it's going to take a little longer, there's plenty of all the hygienic stuff for the men and women is in there. You don't need to do anything. I've taken care of it all. It's unbelievable.
It's a marvelous place. I have to come visit.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Dunkin' Dad's at self-clean. Yeah. Come on down. You won't be disappointed. I promise you that. All right, let's do a little MLB rundown, and then Gus Alonso's going to join us at the bottom of the hour. Okay, Cubbies and Pittsburgh went at it yesterday.
Had a good pitch in that situation.
And it was a good pitch. Hit out to right center field. Cruz back at the wall. It's gone. Another dinger for Dansby. 2nd of the series, 6th of the year. 1 more runs, we got more runs. Comes on the board here in the 5th.
Hey, thanks to the Marquee Network there. Cubs win 8-3. Cubs win. White Sox, meanwhile, blank the Brewers 8-0. Here's a big hit right here.
Robert Jr. on the line to center field. Cheerio running, and it's going to be over his head.
Cheerio!
Taylor will score. Here comes Mydrock. Benintendi's right behind him.
Of course
One
he is.
after the other. The White Sox score 3. Robert Jr. breaks the game open here in the 7th, driving in 3 with a double.
That's 4 driven in for the day and a couple of hits, and he gets one up in the zone, and Luis crushes it.
All right, that's a final there, 8-0. Meanwhile, Cincinnati pummeled St. Louis.
Steer lifts, deep left.
Now, John, you talked about the previous pitch. You said a pretty good pitch, right?
Jose Trevino with a 2-run homer there. Spencer Steer had an earlier home run as well. Cincinnati wins 9-1. A's blank Texas 3-0.
what do you do here? At first, here's the pitch.
What the? This is not me.
A gig that's built to last.
Schumann at second, Pareda at first. Here's the pitch, and it's going to get past the glove of Marcus Semien.
Can't do it. Yellow on chalkboard. Can't do it. Absolutely can't do it. A's win 3-0. Oh. Detroit over the Angels by a score of 10-4.
2-2. Swinging a long fly ball. Deep left field. Way back and gone. Dylan Dinger gives the Tigers the lead. This team.
What a call there. Yes, Dylan Dingler. That is his name. Sounds like something out of a porno movie. Dylan Dingler. 10-4 Angels win. Kansas City and Tampa Bay went at it yesterday as well. Not a good day for the Rays.
Junior hits it well, deep into the right field corner. Meisner turns. Yes! Gone for a 2-run home run. Oh, I just got goosebumps. That's beautiful. Keep the streak alive and a 2-run shot to give Lugo the lead. That's perfect. Can't get much better than that. Wind's not going to hold him.
FanDuel Sports Network there in Kansas City. You got to get a live, son. I don't know who's doing the color commentating there, but gives you goosebumps because Bobby Witt Jr. hit a 2-run home run. Boy, we've set the bar kind of low in Kansas City, haven't we? Meanwhile, Red Sox jumped out 2 nights ago to a 6-0 lead, lost 7-6 and 10. Last night, they jumped out to a 2-0 lead, and then Vlad Guerrero Jr. came to the plate in the bottom of the 8th inning.
And this one hit to deep left.
Damn it! Son of a bitch, shit. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. Giolito pitched really well 2 nights ago, and Tanner Houck seemed lately now to find himself. Pitched an excellent ball game last night. Just some buzzards of luck again. Well, no, some bad relief pitching for the Red Sox, and they lose 4-2 right there, second night in a row. But they're still just a game and a half behind the Yankees in the AL East. They play Minnesota tonight. Arizona and the Mets. The Mets have been red hot until...
Tawa cracks one in the air to left. It backs up. Nimmo got a bit of a late break all the way to the wall. And it's off the top of the wall and gone. Tim Tawa sends one out of here. And the Diamondbacks tack on another run. That kept going and carried just deep enough to get over that 358 mark out there. The 5th of the year for Tim.
All right, but before that, the Arizona was on to win 4-2, but guess who provided all the offense for the Mets
today? Gets this one in the air to deep left center field. Back in the gap, Gurriel takes a look, and it's out of here! Juan Soto's first Citi Field home run as a Met. All you have to do is flip the calendar page to the month of May, and Soto goes deep in Flushing.
Soto. He had another one.
Ginkel to Soto. And he flies this one well to left center field. Back in the gap goes Thomas near the wall. It's out of here! Second of the day for Juan Soto. He's broken the dam and the water's flowing through. 2 runs to the identical spot in back-to-back at-bats, and once again, Soto gets the Mets back within a run.
Not enough, though. Not enough, thanks to SNY there. That made it 3-2, but as I said, they lose by a score of 4-2. Colorado and San Fran in a nail-biter last night.
This is to right, base hit. Gotta send him. Beck coming home. Hesitation from Yastrzemski. Not gonna get him. Rockies take a 4-3 lead. Hunter Goodman coming through.
You know what I like? I like the effort in the swings right now. Phenomenal job by Jordan Beck staying back on the baseball, and Hunter Goodman letting the ball travel against a very difficult at bat for a righty and letting it get deep and going the other way for the base knock.
Yes, that is a final. Colorado wins 4-3. Washington and Philadelphia went at it. Thanks to the MASN network here.
K. Barrett. And that gets over the glove of Harper. This has a chance to get real deep into the corner. Low coming around third. Ricky Gutierrez waving him. K. Barrett heading for third. In there in plenty of time. The Nats have taken the lead.
Love this from K-Bird. First pitch, fastball or curveball, get it up in the zone, and it pops up. I mean, that's it. As a hitter, if you can see a pop, you're good.
They would get an RBI single as well. The Nats would for Luis Garcia Jr. Washington doubles up Philadelphia 4-2. Sorry, Angel. And then Cleveland and Minnesota. Speaking of Angel, you, my friend, or Angel, but same thing, Angel Martinez last night, the hero for the Guardians.
If he puts it in play, he's got to run like the wind to get out of the double play. There goes Jose for third. Base hit right field. Here comes Jose. Book it. The Guardians take 3 out of 4 from Minnesota. A hug from Jose, who puts his name in the record books once again here in Cleveland. Angel Martinez delivering the game-winning hit.
Good job,
and
Angel.
The Guardians, after getting shellacked by Minnesota in the series opener, come back to win 3 straight.
Angel Martinez with the game winner there. Even though they didn't say Martinez, usually they say, Martinez lines one into the. None of that. They just talked about Jose coming around third.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's okay. I did it for Jose. Jose told me before the game we were going to go and run it already back. So we are good. And then I go on the Pete Sheppard show.
Now say that in Spanish.
Le dije a José que nosotros vamos a hacer lo que nadie puede hacer. Y después de eso vamos a estar con el Pete Sheppard show.
Fantastic. Now that gave me goosebumps. Unlike Bobby Wood Jr.'s home run. That gives me goosebumps. All right, if we could scroll down, Angel, see if we can sneak this in before Gus comes on. NBA on TNT. No ups and downs. Shaq says New York Stars need to be on point against the Celtics. No up and down games. It is. It's right under the. It's right under Cam Newton.
Oh, hold on. Let me go back up. Yep, there it is.
Okay.
I blew right by it.
Yep.
And 8 out of the last 9 won by Boston over the Knicks.
The Celtics defending world champions. I feel like if they're healthy, they're going to win it all. And as I saw Jalen Brunson highlights, it just made me get excited about watching him go against Drew Holiday and Derek White, because that's been the difference for me with the Celtics. We saw the ascension of Tatum and Brown, and hopefully Porzingis, if you're a Celtics fan, stay healthy. But I'm looking forward to that backcourt matchup.
I said in pregame, growing up being a fan, you watch the superstars do great things. And Brunson showed us what a superstar looks like tonight. Now he has his hands full, but if he can play like this 4 out of 7 or just 4 games where he can give me 35 to 40 points, they have a chance. But I agree with Jalen. If the Celtics are healthy the way they plan, they have the blueprint. They know what it takes. So, Jalen's going to have to play great. Anna Anunoby's going to have to play great. Cat's going to have to be dominant. No up and down games. He's going to have to be 25, 26 for them to have a chance to win. You don't want to just win a game. You want to really compete and say, okay, we can beat the Celtics.
Yeah, but they're not talking about the defense of the Celtics. And Brunson can score 40 and average 40 for 4 games, and they're still going to lose by double digits every game. And Brunson won't get 40 per game. Like I said, I'm not saying the Celtics are going to win by 10 or 20 every night. There'll probably be a couple of games in there where it's somewhere 5 points or less, because that's just the way the NBA is. But overall, it's a bad matchup for the Knicks. They have absolutely destroyed this team. If we can scroll down one more, Angel, there. Jalen dodging a bullet on tonight's NEATO. They do a NEATO, N-E-A-T-O segment every night on TNT and at halftime one of the games. And Jalen Rose, this is very funny.
So one of our favorite moments when Jalen Rose started with us, really.
Oh, I remember that.
Many, many years ago.
I remember.
This was impressive because he was doing a stand-up at a game,
Yes,
and Nick Van Exel behind him was taking aim with towels and was unbelievably accurate.
That's not a loop.
I
That's
mean,
consecutive.
but you know what? Jalen didn't miss a beat, just kept on doing his thing, but it was
Nick the
that's
Quick,
very
my guy.
impressive. Very, very
That's
impressive.
professionalism right there.
So we thought we would try to recreate some of that tonight. And so,
We get the dumb towels.
so we've got a table full of towels. And yeah,
I
so
don't think we
move it
can.
back there. I think that's probably a good spot, don't you think? Because Jalen's going to come up here.
X marks the spot.
Actually, after that Pistons result, I actually need to get
To
inside
the
my head with a couple of
three-point
towels.
line, and there's your mic like you're doing a stand-up, and you just stand right there, and we'll go back here and see if we
Wait,
can.
wait, you gotta get behind. You gotta give it some distance.
If we can,
Well,
this is pretty good. This is pretty
This
good.
is what happens when you're
From-
on a roll in
Yeah.
high school.
All right. Hey, so you got to come back. Hey, come back. Right there. Stop right there.
Major in radio, TV, film, and communications. And you come to your job, and this will happen.
We are terrible.
Because those not NBA towels, so they're not heavy enough.
All right,
All
Angel,
you
that's
youngsters
enough.
out there, you
That's
just gotta
enough.
keep going.
Some good stuff there. Need Nick Van Exel to do it right. All right, everybody. It is that time. Just like that, the man, the myth, the legend, and one hell of a fucking golfer, Gus Alonso, joining me here at the Pete Sheppard Show. I don't know if you're in Churchill Downs or at Churchill Downs in the parking lot, but this is my old Kentucky home by John.
The sun shines bright.
John Prine.
On old Kentucky home.
Very nostalgic.
Tis summer.
You know the words, Gus. Come on, baby.
Oh yeah. I might start crying.
Tops right.
In the meadows I don't know the words. I just know my old Kentucky home.
Birds make music all the day.
Welcome, Gus Alonso. How are you? Great to see you again. That's actually a nice verse. I never heard that. Just punched up YouTube and said, we got to play it. I feel like I should play it through your whole interview here, but I won't do that. How are you, sir? Where are you?
I'm doing great. I'm local here in Fort Myers. Here to get up this year, have a daughter graduate in high school in a week or so. Next year I'll be up there.
Oh, you're cutting out. Your phone's cutting out. I see you, but your voice is cutting out. You might have to get closer to the phone.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah, that's a lot better. Yeah, that's okay. And I have that same picture of you, that hat. I put it on my Facebook page today, as I do for all my guests. So you're looking
Nice.
at you're always dressed. So are you going to Churchill Downs?
Not this year, Pete. I'm planning on next year. This year things didn't work out.
Okay. All right. I feel because I'm in the sports radio business, and no, I'm not a journalist. I don't ever claim to be. I feel like I need to bet on journalism just because, for nostalgia reasons, it's a 3-1 morning line favorite. So, anyway, why am I getting the feeling? Why is this race not getting the buzz? I don't know. Usually, you see a lot more Kentucky Derby stuff happening or going on, and I feel that for some reason this year, it doesn't seem to be getting the buzz. Are you feeling that? Not that it's going to take anything away from the race, but are you feeling that?
I mean, I don't feel that. I mean, I think about the race almost every day of the year, so I'm the kind of the wrong person to ask.
Well, I understand that, but do you know what I'm saying on television?
Yeah,
ESPN, I haven't heard
I can
all
understand
that a
that.
lot.
But I mean, Bafford's back, so you would think it would be catching more buzz. So you might be right on that. But it's a very nice field. I mean, there's some accomplished horses here, and I think it's going to be a great race. Looks like maybe a little bit of rain tomorrow throughout the day, so that might affect might affect the track a little bit.
Is it raining there today by chance, and the horses are working out today? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Kind of a slight chance of rain today, more like that consistent throughout the day rain tomorrow they're expecting. Not a lot of rain, but consistent enough where the track could be an issue come post time for the Derby. One thing about Churchill Downs, though, that track, if there's any track that dries up quickly, it's Churchill Downs. So hopefully they'll catch a break before the race and that rain will be gone. Might be still a little moisture on the track, though, by the time they run.
Well, tell me about Red Hot Journalism, a 3-1 favorite this morning for the 151. Wow, you were there for all of them. It's amazing. You never age. You've been to all 151. Amazing. But 3-1 favorite in the number 8 position. Good, bad, doesn't matter.
Excellent position for him. He's a beautiful son of Curlin. He's going to sit the perfect trip. He's not a speed horse, but he's not going to be too far behind. And he showed some guts in winning the Santa Anita Derby. He didn't have the perfect trip that day. He still overcame it, and he got first to the wire. He's the deserving favorite. I think 3-1 is a great price on a horse with his type of potential. And you only get that in the Derby. If he was in a regular race, the odds would be 1-9. You'd have to bet $9 to win one.
Wow.
3-1 here. To me, if he gets the ride, I think he's definitely the one to beat.
All right. How about Sovereignty at 5-1? 20 horses in this race, which is, I think, the biggest field in quite some time, if I'm not mistaken. And he starts from the number 18 post.
Yeah,
that's way over there.
Yeah, Sovereignty. He's by Godolphin. He's a monster. I mean, he's probably one of the top 3 best looking horses out there. When you see him, he's just getting really good. He won the Fountain of Youth back on March 1st. I was there for that at Gulfstream Park. Then he made a late move in the Florida Derby, which he finished second to Tepan Street, which scratched from the Derby. But I'm telling you what, he's coming into the race the right way, and he's another one that he'll be coming late. He comes a little bit farther back than Journalism. He'll need a little pace, which the race does look like it has some pace, especially in the inside. Should be quick enough for him to show his late kick late.
And then let's move on. Right next to him in the 17th spot is Sandman, and he's 6-1. What do you know about?
Yeah, he's catching a lot of buzz. I mean, he's a big old gray son of Tappet, so he's very imposing horse. And Sandman, they got the name from the Metallica album.
Oh, okay. I have that song.
Actually, they send the whole barn. I think there was like 30 of them. They send them all kind of merchandise throughout the last week. One of the guys on Metallica is actually a horse racing fan. They didn't even know it. And they're rooting him. And I think a couple of them might even be there to cheering Sandman on. He's got the name. He's got the looks. He's going to take some money. He's a big closer. He won the Arkansas Derby. But when he got the lead in the Arkansas Derby, he did kind of get a little bit goofy. He was a little green. He was looking around and not running in a straight line. And in a race like the Derby, that'll cost you down
Is
the
that
stretch
the
late.
jockey's fault that happens, right? The
Not really. Not at that point. Usually he's by Tappet, like I mentioned before. And those horses are usually like really hot-blooded. And they do act up sometimes. And I think he's never had the lead like that. And once he had the lead, he was just looking around like, where the heck is the competition kind of deal? And he should learn from that experience.
I don't want my jockey, coaching like JJ Redick did for the jackass JJ for the Lakers. I don't want that.
They got bounced, huh?
They did in 5, as I've said for 2 months that they would. Let's talk about Bobby Baffert back from his suspension and all that stuff. And he's got a couple of horses in the race. Rodriguez, a 12-1 shot from the number 4. Citizen Bull is a 20-1 long shot after drawing the number 1 post. But man, you can never count out a Bobby Baffert horse, right? Never.
No, you can't. I mean, he's won the Kentucky Derby 6 times. I mean, he's one of the best Kentucky Derby trainers to ever exist. Just to let everyone know, Rodriguez is out of the race. He had a little foot injury yesterday. And if the race was in a week, he could make it, but he can't make it tomorrow. So he's been scratched. And that's going to allow the 21 horse Baeza that finished second to Journalism in the Santa Anita Derby. He's going to be number 21, and he'll take the 20th post tomorrow.
All right, a few more here with Gus Alonso, the amazing handicapper, horse racing handicapper, and one hell of a golfer, too. What about the 6-5 favorite from the number 11 post, Philly Good Cheer? Now, is it really a filly, or is it a female horse, or is it just a name, Filly, that means something that I don't know yet? Philly Good Cheer.
No, she's a filly. She's actually running today in the Kentucky Oaks.
Oh, okay.
Which is the female version of the Kentucky Derby. It's run today at 5:15, and She's a big favorite. She's undefeated. She's won at Churchill Downs. She likes to come a little bit from off the pace. She's going to be tough, but she's in today.
Okay, sorry about that. Interesting stat. We always go through these every year. The number 8 spot, which we just talked about, has yielded 9 wins and 94 starts since the starting gate was first used back in 1930. Tied for second most with the number 10 post for 88 starts, and the number 5 has forged 10 victories in 95. So for a trifecta, just for shits and giggles, would you play number 8, number 10, number 8, or number 5, number 8, number 10, just for hell of it? Just because the odds have been in your favor since 1930?
I mean, that's a nice trend, and you have pretty decent horses as well with those with those post positions. You got journalism, you got the 10, which is Grande, and then the 5, which is American Promise. So not the worst angle to go, but you want to be in those positions anywhere from like 5 to 12 range is probably the most advantageous that you have in the Derby. Inside, you kind of get shuffled back going into that first turn. And then if you're wide, you really need some racing luck, and you're gonna have to maneuver through some traffic. So definitely need some luck in this race. I mean, these horses never gone this distance before, a mile and a quarter. So journalism looks like he's in a perfect spot. I mean, it's going to take someone to really step up to beat him tomorrow.
And the last Derby winner from the number 8 post was it Mage 2 years ago? Mage 2 years ago, right?
Mage did it, and back in 2006, the famous Barbaro did it. And to tell you what, this horse journalism reminds people a lot of Barbaro. Barbaro was the one that he won the Derby, and he won by a convincing margin, 6.5 lengths. Then he went to the Preakness and got hurt there right at the beginning of the race. But he's a very, very well known horse, and the 8 spot, like you mentioned, is definitely advantageous.
What about a couple of other spots here? Todd Fletcher trained Grande at 20-1 at the number 10. D. Wayne Lucas's American Promise is 30-1, and Long Shot for the number 5. And we talked about Japanese horses before with you during these 3 big races, but Japan-based Admire Daytona is a 30-1 choice. If you had to, any of those horses have a shot. And I can't remember who it was. Who was like the 55-1 shot, not, I don't know, 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago that pulled it out. But what about those 3 horses right there? Grande, American Promise, and Admire Daytona.
All right. Grande is undefeated, but he's only 3 for 3. He's never been in a race like this. He ended up finishing second in the Wood Memorial in New York last time to qualify. And the inexperience might get him, but he's definitely a talented horse. He might be one that you want to wait for at the Belmont. He's going to relish the Belmont distance, and he should be with this race under his belt. He should get better. I think it's a little bit too much for him at this point. American Promise was a horse that took a long time to develop. He does come out of the Virginia Derby. That's what qualified him for this race. And you can never count out D. Wayne Lucas. He has 4 Kentucky Derby wins. I mean, he's a legend, living legend. Still gets on horses, I believe, at 92 years old, and he gallops them himself, which is amazing in itself. And he might have a trick up his sleeve. I would not count that horse out. He's a big son of Justify that won the Triple Crown a few years ago in 2018. So he's one to look at. From the Japanese, they have 2 coming in. They have the 7 Luxor, and they also have Admire Daytona that you mentioned. I prefer Luxor Cafe, which beat Admire Daytona in Japan. And I think he's got a little bit of a better kick. And during this week training, it seems like Luxor Cafe is doing a little bit better. The Japanese have a different way of training horses, which kind of Americans are looking at, and they might even implement some of their training regimes.
Yeah, well, can you differentiate what difference? What do Japanese trainers do as opposed to Americans that they don't do?
First of all, they don't when they work out. Usually, the average trainer, American trainer, they work out 4 furlongs, 5 furlongs, or 6 furlongs, and they do it pretty much like maybe like a minute and 2 for 6 furlongs, and the Japanese don't do that, and they also do this figure eight, and they said it's great for the horses. That people just are amazed this week that they're doing it. They use this figure eight, and it's just a different method they use. They don't train them as hard as the U.S. trainers, and I mean it's working because I'll tell you what, they're winning races worldwide when that wasn't the case a few years ago.
Yeah.
And they were like 2 jumps from winning the Kentucky Derby last year with Forever Young. With him and Sierra Leone, almost nipped out Mystic Dan there at the wire. So it's hard to question what they do. It seems to be working. I think one day they're going to do it. I don't know if it's going to be Luxor Cafe. I would favor him. He does have a long shot look. He does have a big turn of foot, which expect him to be coming late. I just know if it's not going to be good enough or not. And
I
Meyer
like the name.
Daytona is a
I
little
like
bit
the
of a
name.
cut below, in my opinion.
I like the name Lexor. Something about it. I don't know. Something about it. All right. So if you had to pick, I'll get your thoughts in a second here about what you think you're going to do for your top picks. But if there was one long shot here that you think would have a chance to finish, win, place, or show, who would it be? You think?
I think the 12 East Avenue. I think he's being overlooked in the betting. Last time I looked, he was 32-1. He comes off of a second place finish in the Grade 1 Bluegrass last time. He was one of the favorites as a 2-year-old coming up for the Derby, and he had a terrible race in the Risen Star at Fairgrounds a couple races back, and everybody kind of wrote him off. And he came back, he worked well, and he ran a huge race in the Bluegrass to finish second. I think he might be sitting on a big race. He's going to be forwardly placed. He's beautifully bred horse. I think he's the one that people are overlooking. And if you get anywhere near his odds now, anywhere over 25-1 on him, I think it's a big bargain.
All right, and finally, give me the Gus Alonso betting slip. How many different bets will you do just for this race? I know there's a bunch of roads at 12, 11, and 12. There's a bunch of races, but just for the main race tomorrow, how many different bets will you do? Just out of curiosity.
I do quite a few. I mean, I do the exacta.
Yeah.
I actually do a exacta, trifecta, superfecta, and there's even a super high five. You have to pick the first 5. And I always do that every year. I usually do $5 straight. And obviously, if you hit $5 straight on any kind of bet, maybe one year I'll hit it. I mean, you're going to get paid handsome. It could be life-changing money. So I always take a shot with that. But I usually concentrate on the trifecta and the superfecta, key in the horse.
The worst part about the Derby betting is there's so many photo finishes, not just for first, but second, third, fourth. You're on pins and needles, waiting and waiting and waiting. It's like, God, can't we just get this done? But that's
what makes it fun.
All right, and finally, who's the best? What jockey you think is the best at strategy, and what does a jockey have to do?
Right now, the best jockey in the world is it's between Flavien Prat, which he's on. He just picked up the mount on the 21 horse, was Bieta, which I mentioned earlier, that finished second in the Santa Anita Derby.
Yeah,
he's going to be on the 20th post, but I'll tell you what, this guy's a magic man. He knows how to put these horses in the right position, and you do want to consider him in your plays because he's such a good jockey. Flavien Prat, and then you have Irad Ortiz Jr. He's on Publisher, which Publisher is the 13, I believe. Yeah, Publisher. Okay. He's on Publisher, and he's been riding lights out. So he has to be considered as well if you want to look at the best jockeys around. Publisher is a maiden. He's never won a race. He's the only one in the race that's never won. He's been consistently like a board finisher.
Yep.
Maybe Irad can be the difference to get him over the hump. We know Steve Asmussen is the most winningest trainer in the United States. He's never won the Kentucky Derby. He might break his maiden with a maiden, which would be quite the story.
Gus, man, you're the man. So what is your day going to be like tomorrow? And I know I ask you this every year, but mint julep, yes or no? I'm not a mint julep guy.
Where's the party at?
Well, the party could be anywhere, wherever you're going. I'm sure. What are you up to tomorrow? What's your day like?
Well, today I'm going to meet some friends at the OTB there at the Poker Room, Bonita Poker Room,
Yep.
Brass Tap. Yeah,
Yep.
we're going to be there and watch
Love
a
that
few
place.
races.
Yep.
Tomorrow, the crowd there is just too much. I mean, you really can't even get a bet in. You have to wait like 20, 30 minutes to just in line to get a bet. So it's a little bit too much.
That's why you have the Hard Rock
I'll
app.
probably end up watching the races at home, or maybe go to a buddy's house and just really take it all in. And
How's the Hard Rock
get some
app?
good food, some good drinks. This is my Super Bowl this weekend.
Absolutely. How's the Hard Rock app for the Kentucky Derby? I haven't really looked at it yet. I just use it for other sports. But how's it?
I think it's non-existent. I don't even think they have horse racing. I use Twin Spires. That's a company I work for. I work for Brisnet. I do the Spotlight selections, and I use Twin Spires. I think it's the number one app to use. Twinspires.com.
Awesome.
It's easy. It's the easier way to go. Hard Rock is not equipped at this point to do horse racing.
All right, my friend. Well, best of luck. Are you going to tweet out any of your picks so I can copy them? I wrote some.
You know what? Brisnet has them on. I mean, they sell my picks, so I think I'm going to be doing that. But usually, buddies and stuff, I definitely say what I like throughout the day, and hopefully get lucky this year.
All right, my friend. Thank you so much. Hang on a second. Hang on. Let's go out. Oh, he's already gone. I was going to say. Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
We sing one song for my old Kentucky home, for my old Kentucky home, far away.
Should I know who John Prine is? I probably should. I don't follow country music. I don't follow much music anymore. But this is a great song. The worst sports song ever and the worst state song ever is Maryland, My Maryland, what they do before the Preakness. It's absolutely horrific. You got to see where it start to finish. You see all the racist stuff that's in there. It is absolutely unbelievable. Which they leave that stuff out during the Preakness. But
all around the cabin floor. They're merry.
Makes you want to go out on the deck and whittle. Anyway. All right, Angel. I'm playing golf tomorrow morning, so I need my beauty sleep. I need my rest. And I'm going to buy some golf balls and a new glove as well. Anyway, what's up for you this weekend?
Oh, I got to think. What's this weekend?
You do derby parties? Will Deb be wearing a hat somewhere and a fancy hat?
Possibly. If not, I'll make her one of the two. But
no, be an Eagles hat.
No, this weekend, thankfully the USF women's lacrosse team will be playing Saturday for the AAC championship game. So first year team out of USF lacrosse team.
Wow,
So
first year,
Saturday, So they won yesterday and they get to advance to the championship game. So that'd be good. So that'll be on Saturday. And I believe for the most part, it's almost a low-lying weekend, but a working weekend nonetheless.
Boston College lady lacrosse team, phenomenal. Always are. They usually win the championship or they're in the final. But like to see that. Like to root for USF. That's fantastic.
Yep.
All right. I'll be back Monday at 7 a.m. Everybody enjoy the Derby. I got to go with journalism at 3-1. That's my pick. I got to do it. It's journalism. And
Can you put that through the Hard Rock app?
I just asked Gus that. He doesn't think you can, but I got to double check.
Okay.
I would be shocked if you can't at least do that, but maybe they're not. There's still that app is still working on some different things because it hasn't been around that long. But anyway, all right, Angel, great stuff. Thanks to you. Thanks to Gus Alonso. And we'll be back Monday to recap the entire sports weekend and play the Derby and all that stuff. And again, thanks to everybody. It's been fantastic. Enjoy the Derby. Enjoy the NBA playoffs, the Stanley Cup playoffs, and Major League Baseball. Back on Monday at 7 a.m. to recap it all. It's almost mid-julep time, even though I hate them. So it might be vodka soda time for me tomorrow afternoon, late or early evening. Have a great and safe and rest of your weekend, everybody. Enjoy. Back Monday at 7 a.m. on the Coastal Sports Network. See ya.
While the birds make music all the day. We